This one's for the moms out there. Hey there, cinephiles. Today I wanted to talk about My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 and ranking the whole trilogy. I've had a complicated history with rom-coms. Either I love them or I hate them. It's really rare for one of them to be in between for me, and it's because of this that I had never seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding until very recently. But I gotta say, I was surprised with it. Don't get me wrong, it's no When Harry Met Sally, but this should be the bar that rom-coms should try to reach. And it's because of my surprised positivity towards the first film, as well as the recent installment that just came out in theaters, that I wanted to do this video today. But before I share my list, let me review the newest one. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 is the latest, but is it the greatest as they finally go to Greece? In this, we are thrusted into the story of Tula and her family going to Greece for the first time as they honor the head of the family, Gus, who just passed away. Tula made a promise to her father to give his childhood friends his journal, and with the reunion happening in his hometown, now is perfect timing. Now, for as sentimental of a setup as this is it any good? You know, for the sold out crowd in my auditorium that was full of moms, I'll just say it wasn't my cup of tea. This was another Mafia Mama, aka a seemingly normal movie made up of baffling filmmaking decisions that it's actually quite entertaining to see what they did. And it's because of these choices that this movie ends up being a weird little time. Sadly, this just isn't a good movie. It has the ingredients of being this absolutely touching story about generations and culture and getting to know the ones that you love even after they've passed. But man, it took lazy routes to get points across. It made baffling character decisions. It had absurd editing, and in the middle of this big fat Greek mess, there was this stunningly beautiful shot, but it was so juxtaposed to everything else going on in the film that it felt like a jump scare. Neo Vardalos steps into director chair for this film, and you'd think as someone who's been with this franchise since the beginning, they'd be able to, get the characters down. But my God, when I tell you this could have been a Hallmark streaming special, no one would have been surprised if it was. And I was ready to be extra forgiving as I assumed this was her directorial debut, but I found out she directed a movie back in the day called I Hate Valentine's Day, and it actually opened to worse reviews than this movie. And once I saw this joke,
it's called Manifest Destiny.
I understood why. And they really had John and Nia be in a different rom-com. They just wanted to cash into that My Big Fat Greek Wedding fame. Anyways, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 just had so many missed opportunities. And even with its abrupt ending, this movie tells you how you're supposed to feel and what the lessons are from it. But one of the big rules in filmmaking is that you're supposed to show and not tell. But this movie just tells you everything, or it shows you very, very badly. All in all, this just falls into a very weird category of normal movies that have so many interesting decisions that it's just a weird movie, man. I give My Big Fat Greek Wedding a 1 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry, I wanted to be a My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 truther, but this just isn't good. Despite it being so off the walls that I started to end up enjoying it for the wrong reasons. But look, if you're a mom who enjoyed the first two movies, then go and watch this. I'm sure you'll love it. But if you're someone who was interested in possibly seeing this movie and haven't seen the first two, just watch the first one and stop there. Has that given away some of my rankings? Maybe, but stay tuned and find out. But alright, let's get into my rankings for the My Big Fat Greek Wedding trilogy. At number 3, I have My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. If there's anything worse than being atrocious and baffling, it's being atrocious and boring. This sequel came out in 2016, that's right, 14 years after the first one. And if that timeline scares you, well, you're right, it should, because this was just not a good time. It has its moments, sure, but a majority of this movie is just a whiff. And with that being said, I really struggle to remember anything past like 3 things about this movie. One of them being how they did the daughter so dirty with her falling for this guy that didn't even know her name. Another issue with this is that they try to do way too much than they can actually handle. And for the most part, this just felt like a reunion special rather than a movie. Of the 3 films, this is actually the one that I'm okay with never watching again. At number 2, I have My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. At least this is memorable compared to the second one. And I could say that this verges into so bad it's fun territory. Besides that, it's kind of sad to see the 2 sequels be so blah. In a clear number 1 that it's not even close by any metric whatsoever, I have the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding. This is genuinely a good movie and I really, really like it. It has charm, it's funny, and it feels warm like a family should. It's also funny how Spicy White is just so ethnic in 2002. But in general, this is a competent movie that has characters that I actually like and storylines that feel fulfilling. And it's because of that this movie had me smiling so much at the end. I mean, the speech that Gus gives at the end, it's one of the most memorable things from this whole franchise. Apples and oranges, just remember that. But alright, those are my thoughts on My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 and the ranking for the whole trilogy. Which one's your favorite? Have you seen these movies? If not, let me know your favorite rom-com down in the comments below or on our social media. As always, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Stay tuned for more Yeti Films content, and I'll watch you later.